Hi Aries, it's Jenny Fitterer here. I'm here with your February Tarotscope. I have a single card for you for the month of February. The first 2/3 of the month is Aquarius season, and then towards the end of the month we will be in Pisces season. I have a little bit of a head cold, so if I'm a little bit groggy or sniffly, bear with me. And the card for you this month is, the Six of Coins. I think Pisces or somebody else had this month. Okay, so we have the Pisces of coins. The Six of Coins. I definitely have cold brain. And it was in reverse. So this is the way he looks the right way up. So we have this figure, this kind of saint-like figure, got a bit of a halo. We've got this men kind of reaching out to him. And above we have this just shadowy figure of arms and head reaching up. There seems to be like a goblet and some scrolls or something in front. And then there's these coins around. It came out upside down like that, okay? Let's see what the Six of Coins has for you today, Aries. Okay, Six of Coins. Productive needs. The three figures represent different aspects of giving and taking. Whenever coins are spent to satisfy real needs, both parties involved win, the one spending the coins as well as the one receiving them. Do not waste your time giving alms or appealing to someone's charity. Much more is needed here. The figure on the right has a halo around his head. Again, Dolly can be credited with emphasizing the divine dimension. Whenever giving and taking become one, whenever strengths and weaknesses are reconciled, a divine blessing can be felt. This benediction is represented by the sketchily drawn figure with the raised arms in the background. Inside this hazy apparition, a red chalice or glass with red wine and a tablet with 8 rolls of dough can be seen. These items symbolize the Christian concept of transmutation. Bread and wine provide physical as well as spiritual nourishment. Whenever you use your talents to satisfy your needs and use your needs to stimulate your talents, there is always something to be gained. Both aspects will benefit by the result, a true win-win situation. In this manner, you can transform plain wants and banal necessities through blessed creative acts. Practical advice. New ways of realizing your own needs and of understanding the needs of others are called for. Learn to distinguish productive from unproductive needs. The value of that which you own is greatest when as many people as possible benefit from it. In the sense, you only own that which you give away. Focus upon realizing a gain for all parties involved. This is much better than managing deprivation. Okay, so this card I always love. It seems like a really great concept to always be reminded of in this particular culture, where it's very easy to sort of think that it's better to give than to receive, and sort of, so there's a shame for having needs, and then this like totally selfless thing of giving should always be really selfless. Like there's this very weird like elevating one over the other instead of seeing the true equal nature of giving and receiving, because you can't have one without the other. A giver always requires a receiver, and a receiver always requires a giver, and those roles will switch. Anytime you have a need, it is good and right to be in the receiver role. Anytime you have plenty or a skill set, it is good and right to be in the giving role. Those roles are neutral. It is not great to be the giver if you don't have anything to give, if you are in lack, if you have needs. Not a good time to be a giver. And it's not a good time to be a receiver if you already have everything you need and there's other people that have needs around you, or you have all of these skills and it would be a great time to be pouring out, and instead you're in receptive zone. So the acts they're determined by the situation, whether they're healthy or not, or whether they're in their most beneficial. Who's this idea that talents and needs are always interrelated, that needs are very natural and talents are also natural. And it's like this great game of connect the dots when you can find somebody's talents and resources connected to somebody else's need, and then everybody benefits. It's more than just a zero-sum game where like, okay, now it's not like balancing charge where it's neutral. There's something else that happens that's intangible, which is this value of connection. There's a different sort of feeling between one person getting their own needs met and another person getting their own needs met. They're existing in isolation. They technically have some needs met, cool, but there's a whole other thing that happens when they share and they get their needs met together. Community, connection, value. And there can be a lot of focus as well on this like hyper individualism of I don't want to be a bother, or, you know, the ideal thing is to be able to take care of your needs all the time. To have needs is already kind of shameful. I should always be able to get everything that I need ultimately by myself. I should be capable of getting everything ever. And that's definitely been facilitated by rise of technology and wealth, and also encouraged by, specifically here in North America, a very high focus on the individual. And that has elevated the individual out of the community, wherein we have, not only have we evolved as a community sort of pack animal, but also we've evolved in an ecosystem. This idea of niches in an ecosystem where one animal, as it digs for its particular need for food, it's tilling up the soil, which then requires, that's like a skill and a talent that then allows, okay, the soil is soft enough for this other animal to come through so that get its needs met. And because it comes through, it's this kind of ever going where it's not like it's selfless. It's not this martyred self-sacrifice of, oh, I don't want to do this, but I am going to dig up this, I'm going to do this thing and put in this effort, and I'm going to be at a lack because I'm doing something out of service for somebody because I feel like I have to, or I'm martyring myself. Then you're losing energy to give somebody energy. It's in fact, you're gaining energy by exercising your need. Somebody else is gaining energy by having their need met, by exercising your talent. Somebody else is getting their needs met. And we have this actual abundance and this elevation and abundance that's created. That's not this simple math. If I put this in, I'm lacking, so somebody else has to put something into me. So it's not this cycle of deprivation and moving this card around of one resource we have to trade around. It is this amplification that is a lot more intangible. And yeah, it's something that I think this card is really really encouraging. It's this whole idea of this transmutation. That's where it kind of brings in the symbolism of the bread and the wine, of this idea of transmuting something. And it's saying you can transform plain wants and banal necessities, just the needs that we have, into or through blessed creative acts, where there's something that's a little bit special and sacred and not super rational, that just comes from, it's just that intangible, that feel good, that thing that that feels so nice. And that not only do I not to feel ashamed of my needs because I get to see the genuine joy somebody has in helping me, but I can have that joy too. And I'm not going to ramble on about that. So landing it into the astrology of this particular month, Aquarius. Aquarius is interesting because, the first 2/3 of this month is Aquarius season, and Aquarius often sort of looks on the outside like Aquarius is like, I don't need anybody. Aquarius tends to be the rebel. They tend to want to be apart from the pack because they're wanting to do something different. So they're like, I'm going to go my own way. And that can look like a rejection of the group. Sometimes it is. For some Aquarian energy, it is the F you, I'm a rebel, I want to go do my own thing. But often that's not the real, the healthiest energy of Aquarius, because the healthy energy is not necessarily just a rejection. It's a moving towards that which can be only discovered off the beaten track. Anything new and creative, by definition, has to be found where others are not already. This is the well-tilled soil. This is the untrodden path. And so Aquarius energy is all about wanting to go and do something different. But that has a purpose in order to discover what is there, what is the next step, the new way of being, and bring it back into the community. So it really still engages in the cycle of the talent, the skill set, the desire to go and explore and find something new, which is just a new way to fulfill the needs of the self and fulfill the needs of the collective and the group. And then that expands us. The Aquarius X is like pushing out of the box and breaking the box and realizing we can go so much further. And then we can, we rebuild a box even bigger now. We see what's possible. And then we can start to cultivate and learn things because we've expanded what's possible. And then the next time somebody else is going to take a different route. We're going to expand out this way. And all of a sudden we just slowly over time, we get to expand our understanding and our field of knowledge and our awareness of how we can get each other's needs met. So that's this first 2/3 of the month, is being in that curious explorer and accepting that might mean, separating from other people or separating from your standard routine to go off the beaten path. Aquarius energy doesn't have to just mean you are leaving the group. It can also mean you are branching out and innovating from your own paths. You might have a really safe standard pattern and then feel like you just want to do something different that's a little bit scary. So you can have that Aquarian leap just in your own sort of pattern as well. And then you bring that back to say, wow, look, now we can do whole new things. This is really exciting. And then towards the end of the month, we have Pisces season. And Pisces season is all about the dream. It's all about like, let's take that even further. Aquarius is like, let's go off this beaten path, and I've discovered something new. And Pisces is like, wow, if that something new that we didn't know yesterday was out there, what else is out there, even beyond where we could ever explore? It's like the vision that says like something's possible. Whether we even get there, Aquarius is getting there, certainly leaping somewhere new, and Pisces is like, I want to dream beyond where I could even leap. Like, I just want to, like, what, who, like, that first big dream that's so impractical that everybody thinks is crazy. You're never gonna get to the moon. That's out there. You can't get out there. Crazy dream. And eventually, through a lot of hard work later, it became a practical reality. But the stage of dreaming is not to be hindered yet by what's possible, what's practical. That's when you start, killing you're trying to dream smaller to make your dream fit with what's possible. It's like, no, keep the dream as big as you want. What may end up being created and become real and tangible and manifested may never live up to the dream. But don't shrink the dream just because you can't get there. That's fine. You're going to create and make wonderful things. So this season in Pisces, towards the end of the month, is really like we're following through on this feeling of connecting and finding new ways to have our talents and our skills meet the needs of our community and ourselves. And Pisces is just like, let's take that bigger. Let's just like imagine and dream what's possible. And then later we'll try to like actually work and manifest it, but right now it's just dreaming of how could we all get our needs met in a magical world. What would that be like? So yeah, that's sort of what's coming for you this month. First 2/3 of the month is a little bit more separation or adventuring out into the unknown to see what you can learn about your talents or about different skills or needs. And then towards the end of the month, it's like, cool, I've learned a lot, but like, let's just start imagining what's possible. And then we can deal with the details later. So that's what's up for you, Aries. And yeah, I'm not going to harp on that anymore. If you do want any additional support, we've got a lot of forward energy happening now with the planetary transits. And I go over that in the Aquarius season forecast. It's a pay what you can. It's up on my website, it's up on the YouTube channel. I do appreciate all donations. They really help me keep going with this. So if you want to check that out, it'll be really supportive for you this month. And I will see you next month. Take care, Aries.